angry with Nene Leakes for blasting her husband Gregg on social media and calling him mean and grouchy, and everybody on the internet doesn't understand why Nene would be so mad with a man who's fighting for his life. I don't think Nene did anything wrong, but let's unwind this so I can explain my part. Let's go. Now, just in case you weren't on social media the other day to see Nene tweet this here, okay? This is what pissed everybody off. She tweeted, "I would just think if I had cancer, I would see life so differently. Not being mean and grouchy and evil for no real reason. But that's just me. Pray for me." Okay, so this is what Nene tweeted. Nene also got in the comments of her husband's Gregg Instagram and started responding to some of the positive affirmation that he posted, okay? And she particularly said under this one that he needed to take his own advice, okay? And if you go to this particular post on his Instagram, you will see the fans just going in. She's responding. And I personally think that if she would have never said anything, nobody would have said shit. But she opened the door. But now that that door is open, I want to elaborate on what social media don't fucking understand when it comes to shit like this. Now, it's easy for a lot of people to look at Nene and say she's healthy. How dare she talk down on someone who's fighting for their life, okay? She doesn't understand what it's like to have cancer. She's not the one with the cancer, okay? And then I heard some really mean comments saying that she probably wishes that he was dead because she has a life insurance policy on him, all types of shit. And I personally believe that Nene opened the door for this, but just because she opened the door for this doesn't make it right for people to assume shit on subjects that they know nothing about, okay? And I know this subject firsthand because my mom, my own mother, was a caretaker for her husband of 10 years who had cancer the entire 10 years. She was a caretaker for our grandmother who had cancer and for my uncle and my aunt who had cancer, okay? All diet and lifestyle related illnesses. This is very common. I'm sure anybody watching this video knows someone or has someone close to them that has lost their battle to cancer or is fighting right now to beat cancer, okay? And those that are fighting along someone who is beating cancer, meaning they're taking care of them, they're taking them to all sorts of doctor's appointments, they're there with them through the emotions that they go through once a person receives a cancer diagnosis, meaning one minute they can be happy, they can be in good spirits, the next minute they can be depressed because it brings on a host of emotions. And on top of that, you got medical bills, you got all these appointments because cancer shifts the lives of everyone that's involved with the person who has cancer. And only those who have dealt with people who have had cancer know this, okay? And so when I see people on social media going after her, calling her insensitive, she's really selfish for saying the things that she's saying. No, because nobody's in that house what she's going through and knows what it's like to deal with someone or be with someone who has cancer. Most likely when you're married to someone who has cancer or you have a child that has cancer, you take on the same emotions and even deal with just as much stress as they do, okay? And so when you see them, someone that you love that's dying and you honestly want for them to be happy, because I'm sure Nene has taken a lot of the stress off of Gregg just so he wouldn't have to stress. And that was the meaning behind her tweet. If I were him and I had cancer, I just think my attitude would be a little bit different because she knows what he has to be thankful for. And I know that's hard for a lot of people to grasp. And all you got to do is do the research on this. When there's a family member that's diagnosed with a terminal illness, and sometimes it may not even be terminal, it may just be an illness, the stress overtakes everybody, okay? So when Gregg is sad, Nene is sad. When Gregg is happy, Nene is happy because they're going through it together. She's going to every doctor's appointment with him. She's watching him struggle and try to fight this terminal illness, although he says his prognosis is good. And I'm glad that he did end up putting up a social media post basically telling everybody to back off Nene because they don't know what's going on behind the scenes and what in fact she is dealing with when it comes to her own emotions, knowing that she could possibly lose her husband, okay? When you watch somebody die slowly, that's more torturous than you just getting a phone call saying, oh, he just died in a car accident. So I think a lot of people do forget about the emotions of the person who's caring for a person with cancer. And if you've never cared for anybody with a terminal illness, I don't think anybody has the right to state an opinion when it comes to how she feels about her husband's attitude fighting this. Because anyone that knows your attitude projects your healing, which means if he's in a very sad and depressed state, which she doesn't want him to be in, and she's only calling him out on his bullshit, that's how the body responds, which means it can't fight if it doesn't have any energy. If you have low energy and you're depressed, the body's not going to be able to fight off any type of diseases or viruses or anything. And so she understands that he has to be in the best attitude, regardless of his prognosis, in order to fight this and still be here for their family. So I just honestly think that social media is a little too quick to judge. They wouldn't have a reason to judge if she would have never even opened the door for that. But I think honestly, because she's struggling as well, just as much as Gregg, she just needed to vent a little bit. And I just honestly think that if she just would have taken a step back to not express her feelings, which were meant as intentionally good. If you look at the message behind what she said, she didn't say anything bad that was going to hurt him. And a lot of people forget to look at the actual intention. And the intention of her message was she just wanted him to be happy and appreciate his life regardless of what's going on. And if she were in the same shoes, because she's watching somebody that she loves die, she would have a better attitude so that the people around her won't feel that too. Because when he's down, she's down. When he's happy, they're happy, okay? It affects the entire family, okay? And so just by talking to my mom the other day after this story came out and social media tried to get all up in Nene's ass for no reason, talking about some shit that they know nothing about. They don't know what these doctor's appointments consist of. They don't know the side effects from chemo and all the shit that you're going through. They're not there to experience what the patient is going through. A lot of people are saying, well, he has the right to feel the way that he wants to feel. He's the one dying. Yeah, he's the one dying. And so if you have people that are around you that love you and are fighting just as hard as you are so that you can beat this, they always want you to be in the best spirit. They don't want to see you depressed and angry and upset over nothing because they realize that life is priceless at this moment and you need to enjoy every single moment that you have. And I commended my mother when I spoke to her the other day because I honestly asked her, how did she do it? She said, Tasha, if you understood what it was really like to be with someone who was dying and you're trying to do everything you can to make them comfortable just so they won't think about dying and you want them to be happy all the time, you honestly want to take the stress off of them and deal with the emotions yourself. And that's why I would take cruises all the time. I would go on vacations and take my husband with me just so that I could do something for me because it ends up wearing down the caretaker more than it wears down the person with cancer in most cases, okay? And this is honestly what I think is happening with Nene. The stress is overtaking her. That's why she used social media as a medium to express her frustration. She didn't mean no ill will towards her husband. It's just honestly how she feels because this is a real life or death situation. And everybody knows that your attitude projects your healing, okay? You can't have a bad attitude and expect to heal from something as aggressive as cancer. The body heals in response to what you want, okay? Not what you're thinking, it's what you want. And that is displayed through actions and what he's feeling. And so if Gregg is feeling mean and grouchy and everybody around him, including Nene, his wife, is feeling everything that he's displaying, that's going to take a toll on the whole family as well. And all she wanted to do was check his ass and just let the world know what in the fuck was going on. And he needed to adjust his attitude so that he could focus on the positive. And so in my eyes, she ain't did nothing more than what anybody would say or do when they are making sacrifices to take care of someone they love, okay? You just want them to be a little bit more appreciative and just be happy that they have the breath that they have in their bodies right now, okay? Everybody takes life for granted. And shout out to Nene for being strong in this situation because I personally could not fathom what it's like to care for someone who you know eventually is probably gonna succumb to one of the most dangerous illnesses out here in the world. So everybody just needs to back off of her Especially if you ain't never took care of nobody that was dying, okay? And I'm glad that Gregg posted this message to the world telling everybody to back the hell off his wife because she is the one that's there. Nobody on social media is there. You can make all the comments that you want, but at the end of the day, Nene is the one taking care of all the medical bills and him and the family, okay? So if you ain't paying none of them bills, that ain't none of your damn business. Now I gotta go. Now let me take a sip. Woo, that was a lot. And shout out to my mom for being so strong. I didn't understand what that strength was for many years because I remember I used to ask her, Mom, how did you do it? And now I understand why a lot of the anger that she displayed upon me, it had a lot to do with what she was going through, okay? And so people just need to back up and just really take a step back, especially if you're not in that person's shoes, okay? She's in her husband's shoes. She's watching him. So shout out to my mama too. Now, before I go, for those of y'all that have questions about expanding your wine tasting palette, I am personally partnered with the Tasting Room, okay? And I love this particular company because for $9.95, you're going to answer 3 separate questions on what you like. And from that, they're going to curate 6 different bottles of little mini wines catered specifically to your tasting profile, all for $9.95. Now, remember, this is a membership. It is $9.95 to start, okay? So if you like it, it will enter you into a membership and you will receive nice larger bottles of wine to your door once a month from all over the world based upon what you like. And you can go in and alter your tasting profile anytime you want. Now, if it's something that you don't want, please cancel within 30 days. But I honestly think it's an amazing try, all for $9.95, okay? All right, for those of y'all that are wondering what I was sipping on, took me a while to get to this sip. It is the Apothic Crush. You guys know that I used to drink this when I first started my channel on every video, okay? Until y'all start asking me for more wines, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. You guys built the channel, not me. Y'all built it, okay? Still building it. Shout out to the winos. Hey! Okay, real quick, this is the Apothic Crush, and in this wine, you taste cherries as well as dark chocolate. And honestly, this is an everyday, every occasion, every meal type of wine, okay? Not too heavy, not too light, very medium body, lightly sweet, okay? Not too heavy sweet, very balanced. It complements any meal and any occasion, all for $9.95. And I highly recommend it. I drink this particular wine all the time, okay? I've seen some of the winos in the comments saying that they tried the Apothic Crush and it got them fucked up for cheap, okay? Please, the link will be below in the video so that you can purchase this for yourself, okay? Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, subscribe. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at UNWINEWITHTASHAK. If you have a tip on your favorite celebrity, please feel free to email me via unwinewithtashak@gmail.com, or you can shoot me a text message to 404-382-8865 and someone from my team will get right back with you, all right? Especially if it's juicy. And hell, if you didn't like this video, you can still subscribe anyway just so you can cuss my ass out. Not that I'ma really give a damn anyway. Now I gotta go. Bye.